Hi, you guys. So I have a review activity that you guys are doing today. So I want you to get these out. These were sent home with you. You have a stack of multiplication and division problems with question marks on them. And then you have an answer sheet. So we are practicing working with powers of 10. So make sure that you look at what question card it is. So they're broken up into boxes. This is question card number 5. And so whatever my answer is, I need to make sure I record it in the right box. Okay, so remember we're working with powers of 10. So I'm going to do 2 examples for you guys, and then I want you to do the rest on your own. Again, this is just a review activity as we have already taught this in class. Okay, so what they're asking you is to identify what power of 10 was put here so that my answer came out to this. So what we learned, and let me go over that a little bit, is if I take the number, let's say 2.56, if I multiply it times any power of 10, the decimal moves to the right. Because if my decimal moves to the right, my number gets bigger. It went from 2.56 to 25.6. Notice the digits don't change, but my decimal does. So what if I took 2.56 and multiplied it times 10 to the second power? Then my decimal would need to move 2 times over, and that would give me 256. What if I multiplied it times 10, 2.56 times 10 to the third? Then my decimal would need to move 3 times over. So that would be 2560 decimal. So notice that every time I multiply by a power of 10, my decimal goes to the right. And it goes to the right based on what the power is. Move it once, move it twice, move it 3 times to the right. Because when we multiply, numbers get bigger. And that's the exact opposite of what we do when we work with digits, when we divide. So what if I had 2.56 and I divided it by a 10 to the first power? Just like the opposite of multiplication is division, the opposite happens to the decimal. My decimal is getting smaller, so it goes to the left. And it goes once because this is 10 to the first power. So now it's decimal 256. That would be my answer. What if it was 2.56 divided by 10 to the second power? Then this would get moved twice to the left. 1, 2. So now it would be decimal 0.256. So that's just a little review. So let's go ahead and jump into our actual equations. So now we're trying to figure out how many times did the decimal move? And remember, this is multiplication. My number went from 24.74 to 2,474, which means the decimal is sitting right here, okay? So it went once, twice, right? Because the decimal was originally right here, so it went 1, 2. So it was multiplied by a 10 to the second power. So 10 to the second power is my answer for problem number 5. Okay, now let's do a division one. Division, the decimal goes to the left. It was divided by a 10, but what power? So 369 turned into decimal 369. So notice the decimal moved once, twice, 3 times, you guys. If it moved 3 times to the left, it was divided by a 10 to the power of 3. So my answer is 10 to the power of 3. All right, I'll do one more for you guys. I'll do number 13 here on my test card. Okay, look at this one. It went from 2.45 to 245,000, which means the decimal is sitting down here at the end, right? So it was originally right here. So it went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was multiplied times a 10 to the 5th power. So number 13 is 10 to the 5th power. Okay, you guys, so I want you to do all the rest of your task cards. Make sure you write the right one on here. I only printed some of the task cards, so if some of these are blank, that's okay. Just make sure you do the ones that you got in your packet that was sent home. All right, you guys, I'll talk to you later.